Mirza Ghalib Ki Haveli. In the heart of Ballimaran, where poetry once floated through the air like incense, stands a quiet Haveli echoing the soul of India's greatest Urdu poet Mirza Ghalib. Mirza Asdullah Khan Ghalib, the master of metaphors, the king of ghazals, lived here during the twilight of the Mughal Empire. This was more than a house, it was a cradle of verse. A devoted admirer, Hakim, gifted this Haveli to Ghalib. Here, between red brick walls and silent arches, the poet crafted immortal lines of Urdu and Persian, the verses that would define generations. The architecture whispers of a fading era. Mughal Lakhori bricks, lime mortar, and carved columns form the quiet stage upon which poetry unfolded as the empire declined. Within these walls, Diwani Ghalib took form. Every couplet, every sigh, born under this roof, steeped in loss, love, longing, and the grandeur of fading Delhi. After Ghalib's passing in 1869, Hakim mourned silently here, allowing no one to enter, as if the poet's spirit still lingered in the shadows. For years, the Haveli was lost to time, swallowed by commerce, its verses drowned by the noise of the street. Until 1999, when the Delhi government breathed life back into the walls. Restored with care, the Haveli was reborn brick by brick, verse by verse. Today, Ghalib's Haveli is a permanent museum where his handwritten verses rest under glass, and his soul sits immortalized in the smoke of a hookah beside a life-size figure. The open courtyard, the arched alcoves, the texture of time in the red sandstone all offer a rare glimpse into the poet's world and the twilight of the Mughals. Ghalib once wrote thousands of wishes such that each one takes away one's breath, still echo through these walls. This Haveli doesn't just preserve a poet's memory, it breathes his soul. Safdarjung Tomb. Welcome to Safdarjung's tomb, the final monumental garden tomb of the Mughal Empire. Nestled in the heart of New Delhi, near the Safdarjung airport, this magnificent structure stands as a testament to fading Mughal grandeur, built in 1754 in the late Mughal architectural style. The tomb is designed in the traditional Char Bagh style, a garden divided into 4 parts symbolizing paradise, inspired by earlier imperial tombs like Humayun's tomb and the Taj Mahal. As we approach the main gateway, notice the ornate purple-hued facade adorned with elaborate plaster ornamentation. An Arabic inscription above the arch reads, "When the hero of plain bravery departs from the transitory, may he become a resident of God's paradise." Behind the gateway lies a range of rooms and a library. To its right stands a mosque marked by its distinctive 3 domes decorated with painted stripes. At the heart of the garden stands the mausoleum of Safdarjung-born Mirza Mukim Abul Mansur Khan, the second Nawab of Awadh and one of the most powerful figures in a crumbling Mughal court. Following the death of Emperor Muhammad Shah, he rose to become the Prime Minister under Ahmad Shah Bahadur. The tomb's striking structure, built with red and buff sandstone, is square in shape, 28 meters on each side. It rests on a massive podium with a hidden stairway and features a 5-part facade, a 9-fold floor plan, and 4 corner towers with polygonal kiosks. Inside lies the Hasht Bihisht The, 8 paradises, 8 rooms surrounding a central chamber housing the cenotaph of Safdarjung. The interiors are richly decorated with Rococo plaster work, delicate, ornamental, and fading with time. Below, in an underground crypt, rest the graves of Safdarjung and his wife, a final resting place steeped in quiet dignity. Each corner of the tomb is marked by a polygonal tower, topped with kiosks, and decorated with marble panels and intricate archways. The vast garden, walled and tranquil, stretches 280 meters on each side. Smaller than Humayun's garden, yet meticulously planned with water channels, tanks, and walkways creating geometric harmony. Along the edges are 3 historic pavilions, Jungli Mahal, Moti Mahal and Badshah Pasand. These once housed the Nawab's family. Today, they serve the Archaeological Survey of India as offices and archives. Safdarjung's tomb, a fading echo of Mughal majesty, continues to narrate stories of power, art, and legacy. A place where history rests in stone and silence. Tomb of Azim Khan. Perched atop a small hill along the Delhi-Gurgaon road stands a forgotten relic of Mughal history, the tomb of Azim Khan. A 17th century general of the Mughal army, Azim Khan's final resting place now watches over the Mehrauli bypass in quiet solitude. Built during the reign of Emperor Akbar, this tomb was commissioned by Azim Khan himself, a warrior who chose devotion over the battlefield. Legend says he was guided by a dream of the revered Sufi saint Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, urging him to abandon warfare for a spiritual life. The tomb is a square-planned structure, coated in plaster and adorned with subtle incised carvings. Its simplicity is striking, a quiet departure from the grandeur of typical Mughal mausoleums. A single domed roof crowns the building. Once a site of reverence, the tomb now holds no visible gravestone. Time has worn it down, but traces of its former grace remain etched in plaster. Azim Khan, revered by many in his later years, designed a steep ascent to his abode, discouraging visitors seeking peace in solitude. During British rule, the tomb served an unexpected purpose, a hilltop retreat for colonial officers. Visible from the iconic Qutub complex, Azim Khan's tomb stands as a monument to quiet transformation, from soldier to seeker. Today, it is protected as a monument of national importance by the Archaeological Survey of India. This was the story of a forgotten warrior who chose peace over power. We hope you all liked this 13th episode of Historical Monuments of Delhi. Stay tuned for the next episode. Your friend Ravindra Kumar Gupta, RKG.